The gunshot echoes across the white marble floor before anyone can scream. Blood spreads slowly beneath my shoulder as I shield the boy. Noah, they call him. His small body trembling against my chest. The other two children are crying somewhere behind the overturned sofa. Amara is screaming my name, a name I haven't heard her say in 4 years, and it sounds like both a curse and a prayer. Get down! Manager Kwan's voice cuts through the chaos as he returns fire. But let me back up, because 6 hours ago I was a different man. Or maybe I was always this man, just too much of a coward to admit it. 6 hours ago, I was sitting on a bench in Hangang Riverside Park, drowning in expensive cologne and cheaper conversation. The wedding invitations should be cream, not white. Yoon Se-rin says beside me. Her voice is flat as the surface of the river. White is too common. Your father agrees. I don't respond. I never do. Se-rin doesn't actually want my opinion. She wants my compliance, which is a family trait I've perfected over 32 years. J1, are you even listening? Cream invitations. Yes. You sound thrilled. I sound like a man planning a merger, not a marriage. She adjusts her sunglasses. A gesture I've learned means I've crossed some invisible line. Your father says you've been distant lately. My father says a lot of things. The park is crowded with families. Real families. A father chases his daughter across the grass. Both of them laughing like it's the easiest thing in the world. I watch them with something that might be envy if I still allowed myself to feel anything that honest. That's when I see her. At first, it's just a woman on a broken bench near the water. Thin. Too thin. Her hair is wrapped in a faded cloth, and she's trying to control 3 small children who are climbing over each other like puppies. Then she turns her head. The world doesn't stop. That's a lie people tell in movies. The world keeps spinning. The river keeps flowing. Children keep laughing. But something inside me, something I thought I'd killed 4 years ago, lurches violently back to life. Amara, I need to make a call, I say, standing abruptly. Now? J1, we're supposed to. But I'm already walking away, and Se-rin's protest fades into the ambient noise of a life I no longer care about. I move closer, each step heavier than the last. The children come into focus. 3 of them. Triplets, maybe. All boys, I think, though at that age it's hard to tell under the mismatched clothes and dirt-smudged faces. Then I see their features. My breath catches. Dark skin from their mother, but the eyes sharp, upturned at the corners. The shape of the nose. The way one of them tilts his head when he's concentrating on stacking rocks. I've seen that expression in the mirror my entire life. Amara notices me the same moment I fully understand. Her body goes rigid. One of the children, the smallest one, is tugging at her sleeve, asking for something in a mixture of Korean and English, but she's not listening. She's staring at me with the kind of fear that only comes from knowing exactly what someone is capable of. Amara. She's already standing, already gathering the children with urgent hands. Don't. Stay away from us. Her voice is rough, scraped raw by something more than just surprise. Those children are none of your business. One of the boys looks up at me with curious eyes. My eyes, and reaches out a hand. Ajiasi. I move to touch him, some instinct overriding reason, and Amara slaps my hand away so hard it stings. Don't you dare. Don't you dare touch them. How old are they? Go back to your fiancé, Jaewon. How old? 3. They're 3 years old. Her eyes are blazing now, past fear and into fury. Do the math yourself since you're so good at calculations. 3 years old. Which means, you were pregnant. Brilliant deduction. Why didn't you tell me? The laugh that comes out of her is ugly and sharp. Tell you? I tried, J1. I called 47 times. I sent emails. I showed up at your office building and security threw me out onto the street. I was 3 months pregnant, bleeding from hitting the pavement, and your people told me if I came back they'd have me deported. The words hit like physical blows. I never got any calls, any emails. Of course you didn't. Your father made sure of that. The smallest child starts crying, overwhelmed by the tension he can't understand. Amara picks him up, settling him on her hip with practiced ease. And I notice how prominent her collarbones are, how her clothes hang loose, how all 3 children look like they haven't had a decent meal in weeks. Let me help. Help? You want to help now? I didn't know, Amara. I swear I didn't. Do you know what it's like to give birth alone in a clinic that doesn't speak your language? To have 3 premature babies in 3 separate incubators and no money to pay for any of it? To be blacklisted from every job because your name got flagged in some corporate system? My father, your company, your world. She shifts the child to her other hip. I was homeless, J1. I slept in a PC bang for 4 months because it was cheaper than rent. I fed my sons with food from convenience store trash bins. Stop. Why? Does the truth make you uncomfortable? I said stop. The shout makes all 3 children flinch. The 2 on the ground move closer to their mother, and the one in her arms buries his face in her neck. I force my voice lower. I'm sorry. Your apology means nothing. Then let me do something that does. Money. Support. Whatever you need. I don't want your blood money. It's not about what you want. It's about them. I gesture to the children. Look at them, Amara. They're malnourished. When's the last time they saw a doctor? Don't you dare lecture me about. I'm not lecturing. I'm stating facts. Her jaw tightens. For a moment I think she might slap me properly this time, and honestly, I'd let her. But instead she adjusts her grip on the children and starts walking away. Where are you going? Away from you. Amara. But she's already disappearing into the crowd. And I'm left standing there like a man who's just discovered he's been living in a burning house and never noticed the smoke. I pull out my phone and call Manager Kwan. Sir, I need a team on a woman and 3 children. Discreet surveillance. Protection detail, but they don't know they're being protected. Sir, if this is about the woman from the park, did I ask for your opinion? No, sir. Then get it done. I hang up and look back toward where Se-rin is still sitting on the bench, probably composing a complaint to my father about my behavior. The father and daughter are still playing on the grass, and I wonder what it's like to be that careless with love. Then I head toward my car, pulling out my phone again. Father, we need to talk. I'm busy. Did you block communications from a woman named Amara Okoye 4 years ago? The pause is answer enough. That was business, J1. Business. She was a distraction. You had responsibilities. She was pregnant with your grandchildren. Alleged grandchildren. Anyone can make a claim. I saw them today. 3 boys. They look exactly like me. Then they're bastards. And bastards have no place in this family. I end the call before I say something that can't be unsaid. Not yet. Not until I understand the full scope of what he's done. 2 hours later, I'm in my office watching security footage Manager Kwan has compiled. Amara approaching my building 4 years ago. Security escorting her out roughly. Her falling. The blood on her dress. Keep watching, Kwan says quietly. The footage cuts to a different angle. My father's car in the parking garage. Him speaking to the security chief. Money changing hands. He paid them to use force? And to flag her in every major corporate database in Seoul. She wasn't just blacklisted from your company. She was blacklisted from everything. I watch the footage loop 3 more times, memorizing every detail. Then I make a decision that will either save me or destroy me. Find out where she's living. Exact address. Already done. It's not good. The building in Mapo district looks like it should have been condemned a decade ago. Water stains bleeding down concrete walls. Broken windows covered with cardboard. The kind of place where people go when they've run out of options. I'm walking up the stairs. The elevator is broken. Naturally, when I hear shouting from the 3rd floor. I said you have 3 days. A man's voice, aggressive and loud. 3 days or I'm calling child services. You understand? Those kids need a real home. Please just 1 more week. I have a job interview. You've had 10 job interviews and nothing. Face it, you can't take care of them. I round the corner and see the landlord. Overweight, sweating, aggressive posture. Towering over Amara in the hallway. The apartment door is open behind her, and I can see the children inside. Too quiet, too still. Is there a problem? I ask, my voice carrying the tone I use in hostile business negotiations. The landlord turns. Who the hell are you? Her lawyer. Amara's eyes widen, but she says nothing. She doesn't have a lawyer. The landlord scoffs. She does now. I step closer, deliberately invading his space. And I'm very interested in hearing about these threats to call child services on a single mother who's current on her rent. She's 3 months behind. No, she's not. As of 10 minutes ago, she's 6 months ahead. I pull out my phone and show him the transfer confirmation. I've also purchased this building. Effective immediately, which means you're fired. The landlord's face goes through several shades of red. You can't just. I can. I did. Leave. He looks at Amara, at me, then back at Amara. Then he leaves, muttering curses that I'll have my legal team turn into a lawsuit by morning. Amara is staring at me like I've just set something on fire. You bought the building. It was a good investment. You bought the building in 10 minutes. I'm efficient. You're insane. One of the children appears in the doorway, the middle one, I think. He looks up at me with those familiar eyes and says, Mama, I'm hungry. Amara's expression crumbles. Just for a second, but I see it. The exhaustion, the defeat, the weight of trying to hold everything together with nothing but willpower and stubbornness. I have food in the car, I say quietly. I don't want your. It's not for you. It's for them. She looks at her son, then back at me, and I watch her pride war with her desperation. Desperation wins. Fine, but you leave after. The apartment is worse inside than I imagined. One room, a kitchenette with a broken stove. A bathroom I can see from the doorway with mold climbing the walls. The children sleep in one bed, a mattress on the floor, and Amara sleeps on a blanket in the corner. I bring up the bags of groceries while Manager Kwan waits in the car. Rice, fresh vegetables, meat, milk, fruit, things that shouldn't feel revolutionary but clearly are based on how the children's eyes go wide. There's enough here for 2 weeks, I say, setting the bags on the counter. 2 weeks. Then what? Then I bring more. I don't want to depend on you. You're not depending on me. You're accepting support for our children. The word "our" hangs in the air like smoke. Don't, Amara says sharply. Don't start claiming them now. I'm not claiming anything. I'm stating a biological fact. Biology isn't fatherhood. Then let me learn the difference. She laughs bitterly. You want to learn? Fine. Start with this. Their names are Noah, Eli, and Mika. Noah is the oldest by 6 minutes. He's shy, and he has nightmares about the time we were homeless. Eli is the middle child. He's brave, and he asks me every day why he doesn't have a father like the other kids at the park. Mika is the youngest. He's gentle, and he cries when his brothers fight because he thinks it's his fault. Each detail lands like a punch. Eli likes trucks, but we can't afford any, so he makes them out of cardboard boxes. Mika hums when he's nervous, the same 3 notes over and over. Noah won't eat vegetables unless they're cut into shapes because I made a game of it when we had nothing else and now it's the only way. Amara, you want to be a father? Those are your sons. 3 different people who I've kept alive through sheer force of will while you were busy building your empire and planning your perfect wedding. The middle child, Eli, approaches me cautiously. He's holding something made of folded paper and tape. A truck, I realize. Painfully crude but carefully crafted. Do you like trucks? He asks in careful Korean. I crouch down to his level. I do. This is my favorite. I made it myself. It's very good. Mama says someday we'll have real ones. Do you think that's true? I look up at Amara, who's watching this interaction with an expression I can't read. Yes, I tell him. I think that's true. He smiles. The first real smile I've seen from any of them, and something in my chest cracks open. Later, after I've watched Amara prepare a meal with the groceries, after I've seen how the children eat like they're afraid the food will disappear, after I've noticed every sign of prolonged malnutrition and poverty, I pull her aside. I need to ask you something. What? Did you really try to contact me? All those times. 47 phone calls, 32 emails, for visits to your office. Yes, J1. I really tried. I never got any of them. I know that now. My father. Your father made it very clear I didn't exist. And when I wouldn't disappear quietly, he made sure I couldn't survive loudly. I pull out my phone and show her the security footage. Her face goes pale as she watches herself being thrown out of my building. Watches herself fall. Watches my father orchestrate the whole thing. Oh my God, she whispers. I'm going to destroy him for this. Don't. What? Don't destroy him for me. If you're going to burn down your life, do it for them. She gestures toward the children, who are now playing quietly with their new toys. Actual toys I had conned by from the convenience store downstairs. They're the ones who matter. She's right, of course. But looking at her, at the woman who survived everything my family threw at her and still managed to raise 3 children with nothing but determination, I realize they're not the only ones who matter. Come stay at my penthouse. Absolutely not. This apartment isn't safe. The mold alone is better than being trapped in your world. It's temporary, until I can arrange something better. Your temporary is probably my impossible. Amara, please. I don't beg. I've never begged for anything in my life. But I'm begging now. Let me do this one thing right. She looks at her children, at the apartment that's slowly killing them, and me. 1 week. Then we find something else. 1 week. I agree, knowing I'll do everything in my power to make sure she never has to leave. The penthouse is everything her apartment wasn't. Space, light, safety. The children's footsteps echo on marble floors as they run through rooms that are probably larger than anywhere they've ever lived. My housekeeper, Mrs. Park, takes one look at the situation and immediately pivots from professional to maternal. They'll need proper clothes. And the small one, Mika, he's favoring his left leg. Has he seen a doctor? Not recently, Amara admits quietly. I'll call the pediatrician. And you, dear, when's the last time you ate a full meal? Amara's eyes water. I appreciate the concern, but no buts. You sit. I'll cook. The children can explore, but she turns to me. Sir, perhaps remove the valuable items from the lower shelves. I watch Noah drag muddy shoes across white carpet and realize I don't care even a little bit. Let them run, I say. Mrs. Park hides her smile, but not well enough. That night, after the children are bathed, a process that reveals exactly how malnourished they are, all prominent ribs and knobby knees, I find Amara standing in the guest room that's now hers, staring at the bed like it might disappear. It's real, I tell her from the doorway. For now, I'm not going to take this away. People like you always take things away. That's how you stay powerful. People like me, I repeat. Is that what you think I am? I think you're a man who bought a building in 10 minutes to win an argument. I think you're someone who makes problems disappear with money and threats. I think you're exactly what your father raised you to be. The words should make me angry. Instead, they just make me tired. You're probably right. She turns to look at me, surprised. But I'm trying to be something else. For them. Maybe for you. Maybe even for myself. Trying isn't the same as succeeding. No. But it's a start. The next morning, I'm in my office when my father arrives unannounced. He doesn't knock, he never does. Just walks in like he owns the place. Which legally he still does. I heard you moved a woman and 3 children into your home. Word travels fast. Word travels when you're making decisions that affect this family's reputation. Those 3 children are this family. They're bastards. Call them that again and I'll forget you're my father. He studies me with the cold calculation of a man who spent his life turning people into assets or obstacles. You're willing to throw away everything for a woman who trapped you with a pregnancy? She didn't trap me. You trapped her. You paid security to assault a pregnant woman. You blacklisted her from every job in Seoul. You tried to erase her. I was protecting you. From what? Responsibility? Love? Basic human decency. From weakness. Which is exactly what you're displaying now. I stand, placing both hands on the desk between us. Get out of my office. This office belongs to me. Then I quit. The silence that follows is profound. In 32 years, I've never defied him. Never questioned. Never refused. You're being emotional. I'm being a father. Something you never managed to figure out. If you walk away from this company, then I walk away. The children will survive without a corporate empire. The question is whether you will. He leaves without another word. But I know this isn't over. Men like my father don't accept defeat, they just change tactics. I'm right. 2 days later, Child Services shows up at my door. Official inquiry into the living situation of 3 foreign minors. Anonymous tip about an unstable environment. Amara goes pale when she sees the officials. He's taking them away. No one is taking anyone. But the woman in the government uniform is already talking about temporary custody, about proper documentation, about concerns that need to be addressed. I make a phone call, then another. By the time I'm done, I have 3 lawyers in my living room and a judge on speakerphone. The building they previously resided in is owned by Mr. Han, correct? The judge asks. Yes, Your Honor. And he has proof of income sufficient to support the children? Substantial proof, Your Honor. Then unless there are signs of abuse or neglect, which I see none of in this report, I see no reason to proceed with removal. The Child Services officials leave, but Amara is shaking. This is what I meant, she says once we're alone. This is your world. Power and lawyers and buying judges. I didn't buy anyone. I just used the system. You used the system that's designed to protect people like you and destroy people like me. She's right again. I'm starting to hate how often she's right. That night, I find Noah sitting on the floor of the guest room, carefully arranging his paper truck collection. He looks up when I enter. Are we going to leave again? No. You're safe here. Mama says we've been safe before and then we had to leave. This time is different. Why? It's a simple question. Children are good at those, cutting through complexity to reach the core truth. Because I won't let anyone hurt you. Do you promise? I think about all the promises I've broken. All the ways I've failed without knowing I was failing. Yes, I promise. He considers this, then hands me one of his paper trucks. You can keep this. For when you're scared. I'm not scared. Mama says everyone gets scared. Even grown-ups. She says being brave is when you're scared but you do the right thing anyway. I take the paper truck. It weighs nothing and everything. Your mama is a smart woman. The smartest. He agrees seriously. The attack on our engagement is public and brutal. I meet with Seirin in a restaurant private room, and she's already drunk when I arrive. Let me guess, she says. You're calling off the wedding. Yes. Because of the African woman and her children. Because I don't love you and you don't love me. Love. She laughs. Since when did people like us marry for love? Maybe that's the problem. You're throwing away a political alliance that took years to build. I'm choosing my children. You're bastards, you mean? I stand to leave. Wait. She refills her glass. I'm sorry. That was cruel. Yes, it was. For what it's worth, I hope you know what you're doing. Your father won't forgive this. I'm counting on it. That night, I gather my core team, 5 men who've been with me since I started building my own power base separate from my father's. We meet in a private room beneath a nightclub in Gangnam. The kind of place where sound doesn't travel and cameras don't exist. You all know why I've called you here. They nod. They've heard the rumors. I'm severing ties with the chairman, which means I'm severing ties with half of our operations. Which half? Asks Kim, my CFO. The illegal half. The silence that follows is heavy with calculation. That's 60% of our revenue, someone points out. Then we'll rebuild with 40%. Clean. The chairman won't allow it. The chairman doesn't have a choice. He has a lot of choices. Most of them end with you dead. I have 3 children who need a father. I'm willing to risk everything to be that. They exchange looks. Then Kim speaks. What do you need? I pull out the documents I've been preparing. Complete financial audit of every illegal operation. Names, dates, accounts. I want evidence of everything. You're going to destroy him. I'm going to give him a choice. Let me go or go to prison. He's a survivor. He'll choose survival. What I don't tell them is that I've already sent copies of preliminary evidence to 3 different journalists and 1 prosecutor who owes my family nothing. Insurance in case I don't survive what comes next. The DNA test results arrive while I'm watching Amara help Mika with physical therapy exercises for his weak leg. The boy is giggling as she makes a game of it, and Noah and Eli are building an elaborate city out of cushions nearby. I open the envelope already knowing what it will say. Probability of paternity. 99.99%. All 3 children. I should feel something, vindication maybe, or relief. Instead, I just feel the weight of 4 years they lived without me. Good news, Amara asks, noticing my expression. Confirmation. She doesn't ask confirmation of what. She already knows. That evening, after the children are asleep, I transfer $10 million into an account in Amara's name. Not for control. Not for obligation. Just freedom. She discovers it the next morning and comes into my office like a storm. What is this? Security. For you and the children. I didn't ask for millions of dollars. I know. That's why I'm giving it to you. You think money solves everything. I think money solves nothing. But it does buy time and options and safety. I don't want to owe you. You don't owe me anything. This is me owing you. For 4 years. For surviving. For raising them alone when you should have had help. She stares at the account statement, and I watch her process what this means. True independence. The power to leave if she wants. The ability to build a life on her own terms. I could take this and disappear. Yes. You'd just let me? I'd hate it. But yes. She folds the paper carefully and puts it in her pocket. I'm not running. But I'm not staying because of money either. Then why are you staying? Because they deserve to know their father. Even if he's a mess. I smile. I am a mess. The messiest. But I'm trying. Yes, she says softly. You are. 2 weeks later, I take them all to Jeju Island. A villa on the coast, far from Seoul and further from my father's reach. The children see the ocean for the first time and react like I've shown them another planet. It's so big, Eli shouts, already running toward the water. Careful. Amara calls, but she's smiling. Actually smiling. It's the first time I've seen her look anything other than exhausted or wary. We spend 3 days in something that almost resembles normalcy. Building sandcastles. Collecting shells. Teaching them to swim in the shallow water. Noah is terrified at first, but Mika jumps right in. Fearless in a way that reminds me of myself before my father taught me that fear was a tool. On the 3rd night, after the children are asleep, Amara and I sit on the deck watching the moon on the water. This is nice, she says. It is. I keep waiting for it to end. It doesn't have to. Everything ends, J1. You should know that better than anyone. Maybe, but not tonight. She looks at me then, really looks at me, and I see something in her expression I haven't seen before. Not forgiveness, I haven't earned that, but maybe the possibility of it. Can I ask you something? She says. Anything. 4 years ago, before everything fell apart, did you love me? The question catches me off guard. Yes. Then why didn't you fight harder? I didn't know I needed to. I thought. I stop, trying to find words for something I've never articulated. I thought love was something that happened in the spaces between obligations. I didn't understand it was supposed to be the obligation itself. And now I understand I got it backwards. She doesn't respond, just reaches over and takes my hand. Her fingers are rough from years of hard work, and I think they're the most beautiful thing I've ever felt. That's when I hear the boat. It's 3 in the morning when the sound of an engine cuts through the silence. Then another. Then footsteps on the dock. I'm on my feet before I'm fully awake. Instinct overriding thought. Amara, get the children and go to the interior room. Lock the door. What's happening? Just do it. Now. Manager Kwan is already moving. Gun drawn. Phone to his ear calling for backup that won't arrive in time. How many? Ask. At least 6. Professional. My father. Probably. The first shot comes through the window. Glass explodes across the living room floor and Amara screams. I can hear the children crying, confused and terrified. Go! I shout at her. Get them to safety. She runs, herding Noah and Eli toward the back bedroom. But Mika, brave, fearless Mika, breaks free and runs back toward me. Appa. It's the first time he's called me that. Father. Mika, no. The door crashes open. Men in dark clothes, tactical gear, weapons raised. I see the gun barrel swing toward the boy and I don't think. I just move. The bullet hits my shoulder instead of his chest. The impact spins me around and I go down hard. Mika underneath me, my body a shield. The pain is extraordinary. Distantly, I hear Kwan returning fire. More shots. Shouting. Then silence. J1. Amara is screaming my name. Oh God. You're bleeding. Take him. Take all of them. Get them out. I'm not leaving you. Amara, please. Blood is soaking through my shirt. Please. Kwan appears above me. They're retreating. Backup scared them off. Who sent them? He hesitates. Tell me. We caught one. He's talking. Another pause. It was your father. He ordered the hit on the children. Not me. The children. Something inside me goes very cold and very clear. Call Dr. Lee. Tell him I need to be functional in 6 hours. You need a hospital. 6 hours. Then I'm going to end this. They patch me up in the villa while Amara hovers, pale and shaking. The children are with Mrs. Park in the secure room, playing with toys while she pretends everything is fine. He tried to kill them, Amara whispers. Your own father tried to kill your children. I know. What kind of monster? The kind I'm going to destroy. She looks at me, and I see her making the same calculation I've made. That there's no running from this. No buying our way to safety. There's only through. What do you need me to do? Stay alive. Keep them safe. Let me handle the rest. J1. I've been preparing for this. I have evidence of every illegal operation, every bribe, every crime. I was going to use it as leverage. Now I'm going to use it as a weapon. He'll kill you. He'll try. But I have something he doesn't. What? I look toward the room where my children are hiding. A reason to win. The next morning, I move them to a safe house in the mountains. Industrial building, reinforced walls, security team I trust with my life. It looks like a warehouse, but it's safer than any luxury hotel. How long do we stay here? Noah asks quietly. Not long. I promise. Are the bad men coming back? Not if I can help it. Eli tugs on my jacket. Are you going to fight them? Yes. Will you win? I crouch down to look all 3 of them in the eye. I will do everything in my power to make sure you're safe. That's a promise. Mika touches the bandage on my shoulder carefully. Does it hurt? A little. I'm sorry. It's my fault. No. I pull him close, ignoring the pain in my shoulder. You did nothing wrong. None of this is your fault. Amara watches this from the doorway, and I see something in her expression shift. Not trust, not yet, but maybe the beginning of it. Before I leave, she pulls me aside. Come back, she says simply. I will. Promise. I promise. She kisses me then, quick and fierce and tasting like fear and hope in equal measure. That's for luck, she says. I'll take all I can get. The emergency board meeting is held in the main office tower. Top floor. Panoramic views of Seoul spread out like a game board. My father is already there, composed and controlled, like he didn't just order the execution of 3 toddlers. J1. I heard about the incident. Terrible business. Sit down, father. Excuse me? Sit down. The other board members shift uncomfortably. This isn't how these things work. Sons don't give orders to fathers. Not in this world. But I'm done with this world's rules. I activate the presentation screen and start with the financial records. Shell companies. money laundering, tax evasion. Each slide more damning than the last. What is this? Someone asks. Evidence. 20 years of illegal operations run through this company. You can't. I can and I am. But that's just the beginning. Next, political bribes. Names, dates, amounts, government officials, police chiefs, prosecutors. The entire network laid bare. My father's expression doesn't change, but I see his hands tighten on the armrests. You're destroying the company, he says quietly. No, I'm destroying you. The company will rebuild. Clean. The authorities are already moving. I sent these files to 3 prosecutors, 5 journalists, and every major news outlet in Seoul. It's over. You'll go down with me. Probably. But my children will be safe. That's all that matters. The room erupts into chaos. Shouting. Panic. People already calculating their exits. But I'm watching my father. Watching the moment he realizes he's lost. You did this for a woman and 3 bastards? He asks. I did this because they're my family. And you tried to kill them. I was protecting the dynasty. By murdering children? What kind of dynasty is built on that? He has no answer. Or maybe he does but knows it won't matter now. Security arrives, not our security, actual police, and I watch them read my father his rights. Watch them lead him away in handcuffs. Watch the empire he built crumble in real time. It should feel like victory. Instead, it just feels like survival. Manager Kwon approaches as the last of the board members scatter like rats from a sinking ship. Sir, the media is already outside. They're calling it the biggest corporate scandal in a decade. Let them call it whatever they want. Your name is all over this too. The prosecutors. I know. I gave them everything, including my own involvement. I loosen my tie, suddenly exhausted. How bad is it? For you? Probably fines. Maybe some jail time, but your lawyers think they can argue coercion and limited involvement. For him, Kwon glances toward where my father disappeared. Multiple life sentences. He'll die in prison. I should feel something about that. Guilt. Remorse. But all I feel is relief that my children won't grow up in his shadow. The safe house. Secure. No issues. Mrs. Park says the children have been asking for you. Tell them I'm coming home. Home. Kwon repeats. And I hear the question in his voice. Yes. Home. The drive to the mountain safe house takes 2 hours. 2 hours to decompress. To process. To understand what I've just done. I've destroyed my father. Dismantled an empire. Implicated myself in crimes that will follow me for years. And I'd do it again in a heartbeat. The industrial door slides open and I see them immediately. 3 small boys pressed against the window watching for my car. The moment they spot me, they're running, and I barely have time to brace before they crash into my legs. Appa, you came back. You promised. Did you win? I crouch down, pulling all 3 of them into an awkward hug that pulls at my injured shoulder. Yes, I won. You're safe now. Forever. Noah asks seriously. Forever. Amara appears in the doorway, backlit by the industrial lights, and the relief on her face is so profound it makes my chest ache. It's done? She asks. It's done. He's going to prison. Multiple life sentences. And you? Probably fines. Maybe some jail time. My lawyers are working on it. She walks toward me slowly, studying my face like she's looking for cracks. Was it worth it? I look at the 3 boys clinging to me. Her. At this strange, broken, beautiful family we've somehow become. Yes, every second of it. That night, after the children finally fall asleep. Process that takes hours because they keep waking up to make sure I'm still there. Amara and I sit in the industrial kitchen drinking terrible instant coffee. What happens now? She asks. Now? We figure it out. I'll probably have to sell most of my assets to pay fines and settlements. The company will be restructured. I'll be lucky if I have 10% of what I started with. That's still more than most people have. True. I take a sip of the terrible coffee. There's something else. The prosecutors want me to testify. Full disclosure. Everything I know about my father's operations. Will you? I already said yes. It's part of the deal. She's quiet for a moment, processing. You're really burning it all down. I'm burning down what needed to burn. What's left? If anything's left, will be clean. And if there's nothing left? Then I'll get a job. Maybe something normal. 9 to 5. Weekends off. I hear that's how most people live. She almost smiles. You? 9 to 5. I could learn. You'd be terrible at it. Probably. But I'd try. Probably. But I'd try. This time she does smile, and it transforms her entire face. You keep saying that you'll try. Because it's true. I don't know how to be a father. I don't know how to be a partner. I don't know how to be anything except what my father made me. But I want to learn. Why? Because 4 years ago I let you walk away without fighting. I let my father erase you like you never existed. I let my children grow up thinking they didn't have a father. I set down the coffee cup. I won't make that mistake again. She reaches across the table and takes my hand. I'm scared, J1. Of what? That this is temporary. That something will happen and you'll realize we're not worth it. You are worth it. All of you. You're the only thing that is. Pretty words. Then let me prove it with actions. However long it takes. The aftermath takes 6 months. Investigations. Trials. Asset seizures. I spend most of it in legal meetings and damage control, rebuilding what's left of the company into something legitimate. But every night I go back to the safe house. Back to Amara and the children. Back to the only thing that matters. Noah starts therapy for his nightmares. Eli stops asking why he doesn't have a father. Mika learns that the world isn't always dangerous. Slowly, carefully, they start to heal. And Amara, she's harder to read. Some days she's warm, almost affectionate. Other days she watches me like she's waiting for me to disappoint her. I can't blame her. I've given her every reason to doubt. 3 months in, the prosecutors offer me a deal. Full testimony against my father in exchange for probation and community service. No jail time. It's more generous than I deserve. Take it, Amara says when I tell her. The boys need you here, not in prison. I'm not sure I deserve it. Probably not. But they deserve to have their father. So I take the deal. I testify for 6 days straight, laying out every crime my father committed, every life he ruined, every law he broke. The media calls me a traitor. Former business associates call me worse. I don't care. My father's trial is swift and brutal. The evidence is overwhelming. He's sentenced to 4 consecutive life sentences without possibility of parole. The last time I see him is in the courtroom. As they lead him away, he looks at me with something that might be hatred or might be grudging respect. You became stronger than I made you, he says. No, I became different than you made me. There's a difference. He almost smiles. Your mother would be proud. It's the first time he's mentioned her in 15 years. Before I can respond, they take him away. For months after everything falls apart, I move us out of the safe house. Not to the penthouse that's being sold to pay settlements, but to a house in Songbukdong. Nothing ostentatious. 3 bedrooms. A small garden. Normal. This is ours. Noah asks, eyes wide. Yes. Yours, your brother's, your mother's, and mine. Forever. Forever. They run through the empty rooms, their voices echoing off bare walls, and I watch Amara watch them. There's something peaceful in her expression I haven't seen before. It's smaller than the penthouse, I say. It's better than the penthouse. How do you figure? Because it's ours, not yours. Ours. That night, after we've moved in the minimal furniture I could salvage, after the children are asleep in their new room. 3 beds this time, not 1. Amara finds me in the kitchen. I've been thinking, she says. About what you said. About proving it with actions. And I think you have. These past 6 months. The testimony, the deals you refused because they would have protected you but implicated innocent people, the way you show up every single day for them. She pauses. You're not the same man who walked away 4 years ago. No, I'm not. I'm not the same woman either. I know. She moves closer, and I can smell the soap she uses, cheap and floral because old habits die hard even when money isn't an issue anymore. I don't know if I can ever fully trust you, she says quietly. You hurt me in ways that don't just heal. I know that too, but I want to try. For them. And maybe, she looks up at me. Maybe for us. Us. I repeat, testing the word. If there can be an us. I'd like there to be. She kisses me then, and it's nothing like the quick, desperate kiss before the board meeting. This one is slow and careful and full of possibility. When we break apart, she's smiling. Don't make me regret this. I'll spend the rest of my life making sure you don't. That's a long time. I'm counting on it. The legal fallout continues for another 2 months. I lose 70% of my wealth. The company is restructured and I'm barred from holding executive positions for 5 years. My father's associates scatter like cockroaches when the lights come on. But I still have enough. Enough for the house. Enough for the children's education. Enough to live normally, which is all I really wanted anyway. I get a job, an actual job, as a consultant for a mid-sized import company. 9 to 6, weekends off, exactly as pedestrian as I joked about. My new boss is a woman in her 50s who doesn't care about my last name or my history. She just wants someone who understands international trade law. It's the most normal I've ever felt. 5 months after everything, Eli comes home from his new preschool with a drawing. Stick figures, a woman, a man, 3 small boys. That's us, he says proudly. My family. I stare at the drawing, at the way he's positioned the man's stick figure between the children and the edge of the paper, like a shield. Can we keep it? Ask. It's for you. I made it for you. I hang it on the refrigerator, and every time I see it, something in my chest tightens in a way that's almost painful but mostly just grateful. 6 months in, Noah's nightmares finally stop. He sleeps through the night for the first time since I've known him, and Amara cries when she tells me. He feels safe, she says. Finally, he feels safe. Mika's leg gets stronger with physical therapy. He runs without limping now, keeping pace with his brothers like the difference never existed. And Amara, she laughs more, smiles easily, lets me hold her hand in public without flinching. We're not perfect. We argue about discipline and schedules and the 1,000 tiny decisions that come with raising children. But we're real. One night, 7 months after everything, I find her on the back porch watching the stars. Can't sleep. Ask. Just thinking. About how different everything is. How 7 months ago I was homeless and desperate and terrified. And now, she gestures at the house, the garden, the peaceful night. Now I have this. We have this. We have this, she agrees. She's quiet for a moment. Do you regret it? Losing everything. I didn't lose everything. I lost money and power and status. Those aren't everything. They were everything to you once. Once. Not anymore. I sit beside her on the step. You want to know what I regret? What? That I didn't have the courage to do this 4 years ago. That my children spent 3 years hungry and scared because I was too much of a coward to stand up to my father. That you had to survive alone because I wasn't brave enough to fight for you. You're fighting now. Now. But I should have fought then. She leans her head on my shoulder. We can't change the past. No. But we can build a different future. Is that what we're doing? I hope so. She's quiet for so long I think she might have fallen asleep. Then, I love you. The words stop my heart. You don't have to say that. I know. But it's true. I loved you 4 years ago, and I was so angry when you disappeared. I thought I'd never forgive you. But watching you with them, watching you destroy your own life to keep them safe. She lifts her head to look at me. I fell in love with you all over again. Amara, you don't have to say it back. I just wanted you to know. I love you too. I loved you then and I love you now and I'll love you tomorrow and every day after that until they put me in the ground. She smiles. That's very dramatic. I'm a dramatic person. You really are. We sit there until the stars fade and the sun starts to rise. And I think about how the best things in life come from the worst moments. How you have to break completely before you can rebuild into something stronger. 8 months after the collapse, we're back at Hangang Riverside Park. Same bench where this all started. Same river, different lives. The children run across the grass, chasing each other with the boundless energy of kids who've forgotten what it's like to be hungry or scared. Noah is laughing, actually laughing, as Eli tries to catch him. Mika is showing another child his toy truck, the real one I bought him, generous with his happiness in a way that breaks my heart. A father and daughter run past, playing tag, and I don't feel envy anymore. Just gratitude that I get to be part of this now. Think they'll remember? Amara asks quietly, echoing words from months ago. The bad times? Probably. But they'll remember this too. They'll remember that things got better. That they were loved enough for someone to burn down his whole world to protect them. That's you. You did that. We did that. You kept them alive when I wasn't there. You gave them hope when there wasn't any reason to hope. You're the hero in this story, not me. I think we're both just people who did what needed to be done. Maybe that's what heroes are. Noah runs up then, breathless and grinning. Appa, come play with us. In a minute. Now. Please. I look at Amara, who waves me away. Go. I'll watch. So I stand and let my son drag me toward his brothers, toward the game they've invented, toward a life I never planned but desperately needed. And as I run across the grass, 3 children laughing around me, I think about how I spent 32 years building an empire. Power, wealth, status, all of it meaningless in the end. But it took losing everything to find what actually matters. Family wasn't leverage after all. It wasn't a business transaction or a political alliance or a dynasty to be protected. It was salvation. And I was too blind to see it until a woman I abandoned and 3 children I didn't know existed taught me the difference between power and love. I'm still learning. Still failing sometimes. Still trying to figure out how to be the father they deserve and the partner Amara needs. But I'm here now. Present. Committed. All in. And when Mika crashes into my legs and shouts, "Got you, Appa!" I realize something profound. I didn't save them. They saved me. Eli tugs on my sleeve. Appa, watch this. He performs some elaborate running maneuver that I'm supposed to be impressed by, and I am. Genuinely. That's amazing. I tell him. I've been practicing. I can tell. Noah approaches more cautiously, still my shy one, still carrying caution like armor. But he's smiling. Are you happy, Appa? He asks. Such a simple question. Such a devastating question. Yes. I tell him, and mean it with every cell in my body. I'm happy. Good. Mama says you weren't happy before. Before us. Your mama is right. She usually is. She says you saved us. No. You saved me. He considers this with the seriousness only a 4-year-old can manage. Then we saved each other. Yeah, I guess we did. He takes my hand, small fingers wrapping around mine, and leads me back toward where Amara sits on the bench. She's watching us with an expression that's equal parts love and wonder. Like she can't quite believe this is real. I can't quite believe it either. 6 months ago I was a different person. Powerful, wealthy, miserable. Now I'm a consultant who takes the subway to work. A father who helps with homework and reads bedtime stories. A partner trying to build something real with a woman who has every reason not to trust me. I have a fraction of the money I used to have. 0 political influence. My name is associated with one of the biggest corporate scandals in recent history. And I've never been happier. Because I have this moment, this family, this chance to be something other than what I was raised to be. Manager Kwan, who stayed with me even after everything fell apart, even after I could barely pay him, once asked me if I regretted my choice. Every day, I told him honestly, I regret that I didn't make it sooner. The sun is setting over the Han River, painting the water in shades of gold and orange. The children are finally tired, their energy depleted by hours of play. They collapse on the grass near the bench, a tangle of limbs and laughter. Amara leans against me, comfortable and easy in a way that still feels miraculous. Thank you, I say quietly. For what? For not giving up. For surviving. For giving me a chance I absolutely didn't deserve. You're welcome. But J1. Yeah. Stop thanking me. We're past that now. What are we then? She thinks about it. We're just us. Figuring it out. Building something new from the wreckage of something old. I like that. Good. Because that's what we're doing whether you like it or not. I laugh. Actually laugh. And it feels foreign and wonderful at the same time. The children start asking about dinner, and we gather our things to head home. Home to the house in Songbukdong. Home to the life we're building one imperfect day at a time. As we walk toward the car, Mika insists on riding on my shoulders despite the twinge in my still healing shoulder. Noah holds Amara's hand. Eli runs ahead, then circles back, then runs ahead again, full of energy that seems impossible to contain. We look like any other family leaving the park at sunset. Nothing special. Nothing remarkable. And that's exactly what makes it perfect. I spent 32 years trying to be exceptional. Powerful. Feared. Respected. Turns out ordinary is so much better. That night, after the children are asleep, after the dishes are done and the house is quiet, I find the paper truck Noah gave me all those months ago. I've kept it in my desk drawer. This fragile thing made of folded paper and tape and hope. It's falling apart now. The tape is yellowing. The paper is worn soft from being handled. But I keep it anyway. A reminder of what matters. A reminder of the promise I made to 3 small boys in a moment when everything was falling apart. I won't let anyone hurt you. I've kept that promise. Through trials and testimony. Through asset seizures and media circuses. Through the complete destruction of everything I thought defined me. And I'll keep keeping it. For as long as I live. Because family isn't something you build for power or status or legacy. Family is the thing you build when you finally understand that power and status and legacy mean nothing if you're alone. Amara appears in the doorway. You coming to bed? Yeah. Just thinking. About how lucky I am. Lucky? You lost everything. No, I lost things. There's a difference. She smiles and holds out her hand. Come on. Tomorrow's a work day and you need sleep. Yes, ma'am. As I follow her down the hall, past the room where our 3 children sleep peacefully, past the life we're building together one day at a time, I realize something. The story isn't over. It's just beginning. There will be more challenges, more struggles, more moments when I fail or fall short or forget how to be the person they need me to be. But I'll keep trying, keep learning, keep choosing them over everything else. Because that's what love is. Not a feeling, not a promise, a choice, made new every single day. And I choose them. Today, tomorrow, forever, the end. If the story moved you, subscribe for more unforgettable stories like this. Thank you.